Greetings and welcome to another Warhammer Underworlds Nethermaze review. Today I'm going over Skittershank's Clawpack. So from the core set, the Skaven team, effectively. But before we get into things, thank you to Games Workshop for providing this for me to review for free. As always, aim to be honest, impartial, and constructively critical. And remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this warband and the review. Love to hear what you think. And I've got a Discord if you want to check out. You can join that. And I've got a Patreon if you want to give me more support. So check all those out. Information will be in the episode description. So without further ado, let's get on with the episode's review thingy. So yeah, this is all about the new Skaven team in the Nethermaze core set. If you want to check out the Nethermaze review, it's in the episode description. This is just going to be focused on the warband. I'm going to be a little brief because I'm going through a lot of cards today, about 300, and my brain is breaking. But I'll have an article as well, which will have the cards, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you know, we'll just go narrative, all that kind of stuff. So let's get on to it. So the narrative are, these guys are just assassins sent into the Nethermaze, just skulking about. Obviously trying to do Skaven-y things, but they love to hunt and assassinate. That's pretty much their goal. And they know there's a lot of targets and ways to make their name for themselves down in the depths of the Nethermaze. So for the warband, you have 5 Skaven. So you have 3 big Skaven and 2 little Skaven. It's a 5-fighter warband, which is kind of the midpoint for warband sizes, so they can flex in doing that. You always have someone to do something with. And they come in brown plastic. Which is the Skaven brown. As I'd say, the thing I would, what do you call it? The model I like the most, not actually the leader. I think it's the guy with the net. He has the better base and like the big net. And he just looks more like the leader than the leader does. The leader looks better in the artwork, but not in the miniature wise. It's just an odd confusion of how it looks, because even other people are questioning it. But otherwise, I really love all these miniatures here. They're a little complicated to go together. Like, it's a bit of like pushing and hoping, because you go, that doesn't make sense in the instructions. And they are a little fragile. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty solid. Yeah, pretty cool. But a great update to the Eshin look, because, you know, before they were just like monkey rats. But now they look proper like Skaven assassins. And I would just love more general plastic update to Skaven. So please, Games Workshop, just give us a big Skaven update like 40k does for its armies, please. So let's go on to the fighter cards. So you have Slink Skittershank, who is your leader. He is an assassin with move 5, 2 dodge, 4 wounds. He has range 1, 3 fury, 2 damage with Grievous. Mark for death, you can reroll when attacking a leader, reroll 1 dice. And if one or more enemy leaders are out of action or have 4 more wounds, you inspire. So Skittershank inspired as an assassin who just goes to 4 fury. And that's it. It's nice. It just means he doesn't need to inspire. Really shocked he doesn't just go to 3 damage. Because, you know, you already had, like, now you have a 50% chance for Grievous. Just odd. But doesn't need to be inspired. Then you have Creep Kin Whisper, who is 5 move, 2 dodge, 3 wounds. And his range 3 attack is range 3, 2 smash, 1 damage with barbs. So after this attack action succeeds, give them a net counter. The next time they move, they take 1 damage and remove all net counters or at the end of the round. So he's got a threat range of 8 with some nice pinning. And yet he inspires when one or more leaders are out of action or you make an attack action that targets an enemy leader. So while inspired, he just goes and gets Grievous, so he doesn't need to inspire to be good, which is nice. Just exactly the same. It's really weird. Then you've got Snip Padpaw, who is an assassin. His fighting sword and claw are range 1, 3 fury, 2 damage. He has a smoke bomb reaction, so after his activation, all adjacent enemy fighters are staggered, and he has the same inspire condition. And marked for death. So they all get rerolls, 1 reroll against leaders. Then, inspired, he goes to 3 fury with 2 damage in Cleave and Grievous. So he gets Cleave and Grievous. Other than that, he's unchanged. Then you've got Crouched, who is a minion with 1 dodge and range 1, 2 fury, 2 damage, who gets a reroll against attacking. He doesn't have his murderous intent, so he just it inspires off of attacking the leader or when leader's out of action. Crouched inspired goes to 2 dodge and goes to two smash on his attack action. So he gets more accurate, but he's actually, well, he gets you want him for the 2 dodge. Other than that, he's okay. Then you've got Schluck, who's a minion, who is range free, 2 smash, 1 damage, and when inspires goes to 2 dodge, goes to 3 fury with stagger. So it's okay, but generally, yeah, it's fine, not bad. So overall, the Warband is movement 5 on dodge, generally 2 dodges or 2 dodges inspired. They've got a huge threat range, but effectively are 2 damage, and they do have some stagger stuff. The cool thing, as I said, they're all movement 5, and they effectively don't need to inspire, and your main 3 fighters get 1 reroll against leaders, and you all inspire either just attacking a leader or killing or wounding a leader. So it's very solid, and they just gang rush leaders. They're really good at that. Obviously, they hate big leaders, but it's nice. So now we'll go on to the faction cards. So for the faction objectives, we have Armed to the Fangs. Score this if 3 or more surviving friendlies have 1 or more upgrades. Yeah, it's okay for 1. Collateral damage is a duel. Score this if 1 or more enemy leaders out of action and the 4 more fighters out of action. For 3 glory, it can score in any end phase. It's just a lot of killing for what you get. Daggers in the dark. Score immediately after a staggered enemy fighter is taken out of action. It's 1 glory. It's not too hard to set up, but I don't like just staggering then killing someone. I prefer just going straight for the kill. Dazed and Confused is a 2 glory card. If you score this in the end phase, if enemy fighters have more stagger tokens than those aren't staggered, you can set this up with your smoke bomb guy, but it's not the best. Impressive Students is 2 glory. Score in the end phase if friendly minions made 2 or more successful attack actions this round. It is 2 glory, and obviously if they're dead, this is a dead card, so. Infiltrate Their Lair is a duel that you score if no friendly fighters are in your territory and 1 or more friendly fighters are in enemy territory for 1 glory. Pretty rough. If it was 2, it'd be much better. Rattled, score if 2 or more enemy fighters have stagger tokens. It's okay for 1. Then Unsurprising Fate. Score this if 1 or more minions are out of action. Once again, it's not bad for 1 glory, but you don't really want your minions dying if you have a choice. Then you have Way of the Striking Fang. Score this if an enemy leader are out of action for 1 glory. So okay. Then for the faction objective top picks, you have Killer Supreme, which is scored immediately after a friendly attack action with Grievous. If the attack action contained 1 or more critical successes, which is nice, like rolling crits. Then Way of the Hidden Paw. It's not great, but it is 2 glory, so you can kind of set this up. It's more for rivals, where it could more likely to score. It's okay. It's borderline good because it's 2. Then you've got Way of the Lashing Tail for 2 glory surge. Score this immediately after an activation if 3 or more friendly fighters are adjacent to the same fighter. This is insane for 2 glory. Really, really good. So now we go on to the faction gambits. So first we have Poison Darts with a domain. After an enemy fighter's move action on the roll of a smash, you stagger them. It persists, but Skittering Blur. Attack actions cannot target friendly assassins, which are 3 big guys, but it's okay. Spitting Cobra technique. Choose 1 enemy fighter within 3 hexes of one of those named fighters and roll 1 magic dice. On a crit, deal 1 damage and then stagger them, otherwise stagger them. It's okay if you want to stagger someone, but it's not great. Sweep the Leg. Choose 1 enemy fighter that is adjacent to 1 or more friendly fighters and stagger them. It's fine. Then we go to faction gambits top picks. So we have Closing for the Kill. You choose 1 friendly fighter, push them up to 2 hexes towards a staggered enemy fighter, or choose 2 friendly fighters and push them each towards 1 hex, to one chosen fighter. Really good push. Misplaced Optimism. Choose an enemy leader and push them up in enemy territory and push them up to 2 hexes. Really good. Then you've got Probing Attack. Push each friendly minion up to 1 hex. Then it can be pushed 2 hexes instead if that minion is adjacent to 1 or more enemy fighters. So more positional moving, which is amazing. Then you have Redirected Attack. Play this card during an attack action that targets a friendly assassin. After they're successful and it succeeds, you can choose a friendly minion that is within 2 hexes. So you immediately transfer the damage onto someone else, and it's not just your leader; it's any of your 3 assassins. So really good. Then you have Way of the Iron Paw. The first time a friendly assassin is dealt damage, and the next activation reduce it to 1. Really good. Then you've got Way of the Slinking Rat, which is awesome. Plays after a friendly fighter's attack action that took the target out of action. You place that fire in a starting hex in your territory. So it's a really balanced version of Illusory Fighter. Really nice, really like this. So now we go on to the faction upgrades. So first we have Eshin Throwing Stars, which is range 3, 3 Fury, 1 damage with stagger. It's okay. Then you've got Gas Mask, where you can't be staggered, dealt damage by lethal hexes, and can't be chosen by damaged gambits. It's okay, but it's restricted to 1 fighter. Ricochet and Triskele is nice, but it's restricted to 1 fighter, so I wouldn't take it. And then Spyrat is once again pretty interesting. If they draw more cards, you can give a guard token or stagger someone, but it's restricted to another fighter, so I wouldn't take it. Then for the faction upgrades top picks, you've got Death Master, +1 move, and double supports are successes. It's restricted to your leader, but really good movement and accuracy. So Merciless is +1 damage to your range 1 or 2 attack actions if the target is staggered, which is extra nice for more sources of damage. Prehensile Tail, you can reroll up to 2 attack dice if the fight has 1 or more attack, if this fight has 1 or more attack action upgrades. So just giving someone an attack action upgrade and getting to reroll 2 dice is huge. Shadow Paw, place this, it's an action restricted to assassins, place in an empty hex adjacent to an enemy fighter, then give this fighter 1 move token and break this card. So you probably don't need it, but it's really good teleportation. Supernatural Agility is +1 defense, which is amazing. Then you've got the Face Gouger Fangs, which are an attack action, are 2 smash, range 1, 2 damage within snare. But the important thing, gives you flying. So not only are you moving 5, but you're flying, which is the important part. So yeah, overall, factions really fun and thematic to play. The Skaven are effectively exemplifying what Eshin do. They do kind of suffer by effectively being damaged to all the time, but there's ways around that with extra damage cards in Grievous. They're very fast, hard-hitting, and they have a lot of tricks, and they're very accurate against leaders. So remember, you don't even have to kill leaders. With a lot of your fights, you can just tag them. So it's really nice, and they have some really nice faction cards. Objectives are a little weak, but overall, they have a lot of tricks, and you'll have a lot of fun playing them. They're very thematic. The downsides are mainly just the damage, but they just look beautiful. They're so cool. I was worried they would kind of be invalidated by Spikeclaw Swarm, but that warband still stands out on its own, and they don't really clash. So it's really nice. So for pros and cons, it's a really thematic Eshin warband, amazing miniatures, really fun rules, really fun to play, lots of tricks and stuff if you want to go into that. And yeah, just really fun. Downsides, you're effectively stuck at damage 2 outside of Grievous, so you're going to need to invest in extra damage cards. You're a bit fragile. Most of your fighters are 3 wounds or 2 wounds with 1 dodge, so you're going to have to be careful of that. But they have a lot of neat tricks, and they're very fast. And I guess the only downside is they're kind of over-reliant on stagger. They have some nice ways to do it, but you're staggering, instead of trying to get better kills, you're staggering to score objectives and stuff, which feels more like you're just trying to use stagger, because it's a new mechanic instead of working stagger in to actually kill someone. Because if you kill someone with stagger, then they don't apply for the objectives, if that makes sense. So it's not bad. It's pretty neat. Really fun warband. Great for a core set warband. I don't think it's too complex to learn as well. It's just really fun. And I think it'd be pretty good for Rivals, Warlords format. And it will have some definite room for Championship. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to buy this warband, you can do so via my affiliate link at Element Games to get a discount. But yeah, please like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you thought of this kill team. I'd be really, not kill team, sorry, warband. I'd be really interested to see what you think, so your thoughts are of this amazing new Eshin Skaven team. But yeah, before I go, let me just thank my patrons. So as always, I'll thank my adepts of the crits, who are Theodore, Michael, Tarun, and then I've got my adept, veteran of the crits, who are Samja and Confucius. So thank you. Really appreciate all that support you give me. It really helps a lot. And yeah, as I said, I've got a Discord down below if you want to check out. But that's pretty neat. As I said, I'll have an article for this if you want to check out the cards. But I thankfully can keep this short because I don't have to go through all the universal cards again. But I'm probably going to paint these up because I love Skaven. You know what I did with Scritch, right? It's like calling me back to the game. Skaven are my jam. But it's really cool. Really like this warband. I think it's going to be a lot of fun no matter what your draw is to Underworlds. So it's pretty cool. So remember, even if you're being stalked by sneaky shadow Skaven assassins, It may seem hopeless unless you have the ability to roll a crit.